Yeah, look, it's a little better, and both the growth in Uber Eats and the decline in ride sharing are very emblematic of the pandemic and the moment that we're in. I think the broader question becomes, at what point does ride sharing become a profitable enterprise? Uber Eats does seem like a pretty good business, so I think that's something that they should be rewarded for. And look, winning Prop 22 on Tuesday is helpful, but it doesn't help make them more profitable or reduce their cost in any way. It just means that ride sharing won't become even more unprofitable. So there's still this fundamental question that the core thing that Uber does is not a profitable function, and we haven't really seen any plan to make it profitable.
Bradley, bigger picture, why is the NASDAQ up nearly 10% this week?
I think that people feel two things. One is a certain amount that there's some likelihood that you have a Biden presidency and a Republican Senate, and the market seems to clearly like that mix. I think they also feel like that mix could work pretty well for big tech in the sense that you will have more stability under Biden, pro-immigration, where H-1B visas can be issued, but at the same time, not having to worry about regulation, tax increases, antitrust, things like that coming from the far left if the Senate had flipped to the Democrats. So if you're tech and if you're the market, it seems like the election landed in the right place.
What about Uber in particular? How do they take this Prop 22 victory and expand it to some of the other fights that they're going to face? This issue isn't going away of whether they need to make their workers classified as workers and not independent contractors and pay for their benefits like healthcare.
Right. So it doesn't make it go away, but probably the even bigger win for them on Tuesday than Prop 22 was the Senate staying Republican. Had the Senate flipped, I think the odds of seeing federal worker classification legislation that would have made all Uber and Lyft drivers everywhere in the United States employees was pretty high. That risk goes down to basically zero for as long as McConnell is Senate Majority Leader. So now Uber has to either decide we're going to try to work out a deal with labor in either California or nationwide that we can live with, or we were able to ultimately overturn AB 5 with Prop 22. And if we spend an equivalent amount of money, we can beat this in every single state.
So just quickly back on the broad point there, if the Senate doesn't end up being Republican, do you think there's a big risk to the likes of Uber, which has jumped so aggressively this week?
I do. I think that in some ways, if you're Pelosi and the far left wants to move worker classification reform, I think your view is knock yourself out because you got bigger things to worry about. And if Schumer were the majority leader and if Elizabeth Warren came and said, I want to turn Uber drivers into employees, I think he would say, I could care less. And I think if it hit Biden's desk, he would sign it. And by the way, I think that's not only true with work classification. I think that's true with privacy regulations, with antitrust regulations, with repealing Section 230. So there's a lot of areas where if you do have a fully Democratic establishment in Washington, big tech should be concerned.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.